Koala, taking you through some of the things people are talking about and some of the stuff they're sharing around the world on Newsfeed today. On World Children's Day, the UN reveals that the United States holds more children in detention than any other nation on Earth. We look at how the Me Too movement is being sustained in Tunisia. In the desert of Dubai, we see an attempt to try and do some green farming. And footage of a very special rescue from Australia's bushfires. And top of our newsfeed. Today is World Children's Day, a chance to celebrate young people and renew efforts to protect them. But today's America of Donald Trump has more children in detention than any other country on the planet. More than 65,000 are being held there each year, and that disturbing statistic began during the administration of Barack Obama.
Of course, separating children, as was done by the Trump administration, from their parents and even small children at the Mexican-US border is absolutely prohibited by the Convention on the Rights of the Child. I would call it inhuman treatment for both the parents and the children. The main recommendation is treat those children, even if they were recruited as child soldiers and have committed crimes, treat them primarily as victims and not as perpetrators, and try to find ways for rehabilitation and reintegration into society. And it also applies to children primarily from European origin, or also Central Asian origin, who were recruited by the Islamic State, so that they actually should take them back in order to deal with them in the child welfare system.
Okay, let's take a look at some of the other things that caught our eye on social media. Well, this is the Campus Me Too movement in Kenya. It's been launched by students from the University of Nairobi. Research there says that half of all women on campuses have been sexually harassed. The rate of assault in men is 1 in 4. The ruling Conservative Party in the United Kingdom changed its Twitter handle to Fact Check UK for a short period during the first prime ministerial debate last night. Twitter said that it was misleading to the public and would take action against the party if it did something like this again. The account tweeted false information during the debate, including saying that Boris Johnson clearly won, which he didn't.
Tonight is a magical night, where I choose the cat that deserves a new life.
Going to the ball could get dangerous.
And this is the latest trailer for the film Cats. It's got Judi Dench and Taylor Swift and Jennifer Hudson in it, and it will be out on the 25th of December. The first trailer was mocked widely on social media, and this one has not done much better. Now, in Tunisia, women have been making themselves heard in an attempt to stop sexual harassment and domestic violence. Take a look at this.
There are girls who cannot go out because they are afraid of harassment. But after the awareness campaign, they feel comfortable. They can go out safely.
This is the first time this kind of action has taken place in Tunisia, and I would like it to happen in all places, in nightclubs, in middle schools too, and in high schools. We see that harassment is occurring at school.
Our presence is a first in Tunisia. This is the first festival that had the idea of being involved in the NZA movement. We were also invited to speak, to raise awareness, and to be a little symbolically vigilant. Our presence here is important for visibility, and also because it's a place where there may be more risk in relation to women of being sexually assaulted.
Next, some Islamophobes in Norway decided to burn copies of the Quran recently. The action's been condemned by the Turkish government, which has written to Norway's government. And we will go around the world now for some other stories you need to know this Wednesday. Well, this is Wiki Tribune, or WT Social. It's a new social network launched by Jimmy Wales, the guy who created Wikipedia. And it's said to have put on 200,000 members in just a few days. Wales said he set up the site as the antithesis of Facebook. He says the site will be funded by members in the way Wikipedia is, and will, in his words, address what is wrong with social media and the world in general. The writer Gregory Allen Howard, who wrote the new film Harriet, says that when he was pitching the piece to studio execs 25 years ago, it was suggested that Julia Roberts play the role of Harriet Tubman. Now, Miss Tubman is a black woman who was instrumental in helping slaves escape during the 19th century in America. Julia Roberts is a white woman and looks like this. Apparently, when the studio execs who suggested Miss Roberts play Harriet Tubman was challenged on that fact, that Tubman was black and Roberts is white, he said, "Oh, it was a long time ago, people won't know." The actor who was eventually cast to play Harriet is called Cynthia Erivo. Scientists say that a population of humpback whales, which live in the seas off South America and Antarctica, and which was almost hunted to extinction, have recovered. There were reported to be only 440 of the mammals in 1958, and now, after hunting was banned in 1986, there are reported to be 25,000 of them. Now, Dubai is in the desert, but despite that, the city is attempting to show off its green credentials with a very ambitious project. Have a look.
Away from the ultra-modern architecture that defines Dubai, one man is trying to make the emirate environmentally friendly. Dubbed the Sustainable City, it aims to become the first net-zero development in the region. All its energy requirements are met using on-site resources. Construction of the $350 million settlement started in 2014. So far, there's 3,000 residents. 90% of the homes are occupied. Urban developer Farid Saeed admits reducing carbon emissions has been tough, but he says the project is having an impact.
Changes it to be more eco-friendly, to live a more peaceful life. So it's a positive changes. This is why in the beginning we had this skepticism, but after people moved here and started to live, they realized that this is exactly what they are looking for. They are living with harmony, in harmony with nature.
500 houses, a shopping mall, mosque, and a school have already been covered with solar panels. And within nearly a dozen biodomes, urban farmers are growing crops like tomatoes and strawberries, using recycled wastewater. Some residents say they love the green life. Nick Watson is a British expat who admits it's changed how he looks at the environment.
When we first arrived, the first thing that we got from the management was a series of recycling bins ourselves for our house. So they're just little things, and again, it kind of acknowledge it. And we recycle everything. We did before, but nowhere on this level. We have 4 bins. We separate everything, we clean everything, we put them in the bins, and then we take them out to the recycling bins. And that's a habit now, and that's something that we've ingrown here.
The construction industry plays a key role in sustainability. It's partly to blame for the climate crisis. The sector contributes 23% of global air pollution, 40% of the planet's drinking water pollution, and estimated emissions from commercial buildings will increase by 1.8% by 2030. Despite their best efforts, Saeed admits it's an uphill battle to escape the negative effects of construction. But he remains hopeful.
You have to show the world that this is the model which we need all to adopt just to save our planet. So if we will think in this way, that our impact is nothing comparing to what's happening, no one will do anything. So we believe that let's start, and we are sure that people will follow, and it's happening.
And last up, bushfires in Australia have been getting worse by the day, but in all the flames and destruction, there has been some small moments of hope, a bit like this. Now, a koala was caught in the flames in a place called Long Flat in New South Wales. As you can see, a woman runs into the flames and rescues it. With all those flames and the burning brush around them. Now, the little thing is clearly injured and can be heard crying as the woman douses its burns. It was taken to a nearby animal hospital and it seems to be recovering. Now, it was thought that as many as 350 bears were killed in this area in the fires. There's no significant sign of rainfall coming in the forecast, and Australia is now heading into summer, so the weather will be getting warmer. Well, that will do from the Newsfeed team. Do reach out to me with your questions, comments, complaints and suggestions. You'll find me at Kamali Melbourne. You'll find us 24/7 on YouTube. You can subscribe to our channel and you can follow me on Twitter. Follow, subscribe and add. See you again tomorrow.